everybody, and welcome back to Master Tarot. Now, I have recorded this on the Friday just gone. It is a continuation of the reading I was doing on Friday in regards to Germany-Austrian relations with Russia and a little touch on Putin's current situation. So I wanted to have a look, as I said on Friday, I want to go into the suspicious deaths of several oligarchs and the death of numerous generals, which I think they're up to about probably almost double figures with generals in the field. I can't remember whether it was 7 or 9 or 11, something like that. They just seem to be dropping like flies out in the field. Now, I do understand Russia has quite a completely different military system to what we're used to in the West, whereas in the West we have a system where our lower ranking officers and our higher ranking non-commissioned officers, so sergeants, corporals, warrant officers, etc., they have more autonomy in the field. In Russia, basically the officers and the NCOs are there to carry out the orders of those higher up, of the generals, so they don't have any autonomy in a particular situation. However, the generals seem to be falling off the twig fairly rapidly. Oh, excuse me, at last reading took quite a bit out, but we'll plough on. So what's happened recently within the last week or so is that two oligarchs have been found dead in suspicious circumstances within 24 hours of each other. One of them was Vladislav Ayave. Now, my pronunciation is absolutely awful. He was the vice president of one of the third largest energy giants, a gas energy giant. It was deemed a murder-suicide in that he was killed and his family were, I didn't write it down, I can't remember whether he was, they were shot or they were stabbed or whatever, and then he was found having cutters. I can't remember their methods of death, but yeah, he and his entire family were found, and it was ruled a murder-suicide. He was also a former Kremlin executive. Now, he died, I believe, in Moscow, in Russia, so there's not a lot of information about his death coming out. So he died, and also Sergey Protozina, again, sorry about the pronunciation, he was a former Novatek executive, which is one of the major gas companies in Russia. He had fled to France with his family. They were holidaying in Spain. Again, his wife and children were killed in whatever method. They were stabbed, and apparently was quite frantically stabbed, and he was found hung himself, or he was hung. So it appears to be a murder-suicide. However, the Spanish authorities are not ruling out murder in that particular case. Now, earlier this year, in January, there were two other oligarchs in January. Leonard Schulman. These were not murder-suicides. These were just the oligarchs dying. He apparently was found with his wrists quite severely slashed, almost like stabbed. There was, so I've got 6. I didn't realise I had one there. Now, he, I believe, may have been in the UK, correct me if I'm wrong, where he had fled after alleged fraud at the Gazprom bank. There was another one, Alexander Tulakov, was found hanging by his, I believe, by his gardener. In February, Mikhail Watford was found hanging, and in March, Vasily Melnikov was also involved in a murder-suicide, so his family was also involved. So if you just Google oligarchs, suiciding oligarchs or something to that effect, you will find them. Now, if any of this raises any concern for you, please contact your local mental health helpline. In Australia it's called Lifeline, so please contact them if any of this raises any issues for you. But what is interesting is the fact that since January there have been 5 different oligarchs found suicided, speculation, allegedly entertainment purposes only, found apparently suicided in suspicious circumstances. Now, some of them may have been because of the embargoes and the seizing of assets, etc., and I won't look at them all individually, but I do want to ask the question about whether they were, because most of these were also speaking out against the invasion of Ukraine. They have become anti-Putin. Most of them were not living in Russia. So I just want to ask, did these oligarchs... I'll have a specific look at the 2 that were most recent. The one in Spain and the one in Moscow. I mean, one was the vice president of the Gazprom Bank. Oh, the Gazprom Bank. Sorry, my got that wrong. It's the 3rd largest bank in Russia. So he was the vice president of the 3rd largest bank in Russia, who services the energy giants. Sorry, my notes they're a little bit old. And he was a former Kremlin executive, so he did have the inside. So tell me, am I using the right cards, first of all? Yeah, I'm feeling I am. These are my Gilded Tarot Royale cards. Please tell me. Vladislav Aveya, whatever. Vladislav, tell me, was Vladislav and his family murdered? Were they murdered? Were they murdered? Were they murdered? Oh, I just felt this incredible weight come down on me. My feet got anchored to the ground. Was he murdered? Was he murdered? Was he and his family murdered? I'm trying to throw that one out. King of Wands. Yeah, was a plan. There was a plan. Was that him? Oh, that was him. The King of Wands. That was him. He was, okay, seen the light, and he was inspiring others. He was choosing to follow a different path. Sorry, that just flew out as soon as I said that. Towards the light. He was choosing to follow a different path towards the light. Was he and his family murdered? Was he and his family murdered? Entertainment. Not very entertaining, is it, I'm afraid? Allegedly. Were they murdered? Were they murdered? This is him and his family. Queen of Wands. Also the energy he embodies. Boy, a lot of wands for him. He had a plan. He was planning something. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. I'm wondering whether there was some torture that went on beforehand as they tried to work out who he was working with. But yes, I am getting that, yeah. Yep. Sorry, I don't quite know what to make of that, but yes, he and his family, he was taking a different path. He had seen the light. He was influencing others. He had a plan that was going on. His family were, I won't say involved, but yeah. Okay. Tell me about Sergey. Sergey also in Spain, former gas company executive, fled to France holidaying in Spain. Tell me, was Sergey murdered? Was Sergey murdered? Please tell me. Oh, I just feel, my legs feel so weighted. Was Sergey murdered? Was Sergey and his family? There's a lot of insecurity around this. Playing the cards close to their chest. There is a revelation that's going to come forward in regards to this. It's going to be a big revelation in regards to this. And I think in this case, yes, it is. It's a revelation in regards to their death of the family, of those close to him. It will be brought to light. This particular one took place in Spain. They are working hard behind the scenes on this. There will be some choices to be made in regards to which direction it takes, and then we have this Queen of Wands. Within 24 hours, okay. Oh no, excuse me. I'm just really getting quite strong. There will be a new beginning where the truth comes out. I suspect yes, but it's not very definite on the yes. The Spanish authorities are still working on this. And there is a revelation that's going to come out that they haven't revealed as of yet. Because I got that Wands card, and the deaths occurred within 24 hours of each other, I'm just going to ask if they were working together. Were Vladislav and Sergey working together? Were they planning, plotting together? Were they working together? Vladislav and Sergey, were they working together? It's just where I feel I need to ask, were they working together? Were they working together? Were they working together? There's Russia. Victory. Victory of a plan in relation to Russia. However, we have ended up with this loss, this complete and utter downfall, and this anxiety about from the others still involved is what I'm being told. Ten of Pentacles. I'll just draw one more on that. Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so they've reached a culmination, a point where the others still involved are having to make a decision as to whether they proceed. Something's going to be revealed. Now, with this proceed, it's about, it's walking a tightrope, a decision to be made, etc., etc. But it's also about, you've got these wild seas with these ships on the seas, and it's about making the choice about which ship you bring into harbour and which ship you sacrifice on the rocks. And that is what I'm really feeling like is the point that they're at. There is going to be something revealed in regards to these deaths, and they were working together. They were working together. They were, yeah, a truth, spy in the camp, but a message of truth is going to be brought forward. I mean, they were oligarchs, they were wealthy, they were living in this gilded world, but there is something going on behind the scenes, and disappointment at what has happened, but the truth will come forward, and it will come forward very quickly. So I am getting that, yes, they were working together to bring about the downfall of Putin, because the emperor is Putin, the emperor is not Russia. Okay, I will just very quickly ask, were these remaining 4, were they involved? Now I've got something upside down there, where was it? Were these remaining 4 somehow, were any of these remaining 4 also involved in whatever Ladislav and Sergey were working on? Were any of these other 4, 2 in January, 1 in February, 1 in March, 2 in April, were any of these remaining 4 involved? Because if they were involved, it tells me that it's unlikely they suicided. Were they involved? Were any of these remaining 4 involved with whatever Sergey and Vladislav working on? Were any of them involved? Disappointment and victory have sprung out. Keep going on that. Playing their cards close to their chest in regards to Mother Russia, walking away from what's no longer serving them, moving on, finding the truth and moving on. Sorry, I haven't brought you down, has led to their death. Right, so what a base's strength, working together to build a solid foundation. Something is going to be, something important and big is going to be revealed in regards to Putin, in this regards. So yes, not necessarily all, but at least some of them were involved in whatever. Okay, don't know that we'll ever find out the truth. Hopefully we will with at least a few of them. Goodness me, I'm finding this rather... Okay, so I want to have a look at the generals that seem to be dropping off at an alarming rate. And as I pulled my Golden Universal Tarot, which has Mother Russia on them, 2 cards flung out as I pulled them out, and walking away and inevitable ending flung out at me while I pulled them out. So, sorry about this being a bit of a heavy reading. Try and get onto something a bit lighter tomorrow, on Tuesday. Oh dear, excuse me. Right. Tell me about these generals that seem to be... Now I'll do a extended Celtic cross in regards to them to start with, and then if we need anything clarified, we'll do some more poignant questions. tell me about these generals that seem to be dropping like flies on the Ukrainian battlefield. Are they being taken out by Ukraine, or are they being taken out by Russia? Okay, tell me about these generals that are dying at an alarming rate on this battlefield. Are they being taken out by Russia? Are they being taken out by Russia? I'll do an extended Celtic cross. Are they being taken out by Russia? Got the strength card popped out. Inner strengths, compassionate power. Okay, right. Okay, so the very first, when I first posed this question, were the dissenting generals being taken out on the battlefield and it's been covered up. This is about compassionate power. So what this is very much telling me is that the generals have gotten onto this battlefield and it's not what they had been led to believe. They're finding out what is really going on, and they decided to, I won't say change their allegiances, but they have been reluctant to, yeah, and it's telling me yes, they were taken out. Okay, I'll read a little bit more on that. But yeah, those two cards, both major arcana, so saying pay attention, is yes, they've been taken out, because once they reach the battlefield and they realise the reality of what is happening, their compassion came to the fore, and I think that's why Putin's now put in, what's his name, the butcher of Syria, the soulless, evil, destroy anything that stands in his path general. Oh, Zelensky's popped out. Gotta love Zelensky. Right, so I will just do very quickly, we're up to 22 minutes already. Were the dissenting generals taken out by Russia? Were the dissenting generals, extended Celtic cross please. Need to know the outcome of all this. Were the dissenting generals taken out by Russia? Were the dissenting generals taken out by Russia? Had a whole heap of cards flip over here. This may even be where this ends. This is a culmination of everything. This is the world. This is on the world stage. They realised this overwhelming emotion of what was actually happening in regards to this war. They found themselves realising the world view of what was happening, and they found it emotionally overwhelming and difficult. And then you have this dove of peace dropping the coin into this cup of emotion. So they were dissenting, they were taken out, and this will actually be revealed. The truth of this will come out. So, base of the pack, the revelation in how they felt defeated in this battle, that the wheel of karma, the wheel of destiny has turned on them, and they walked away. It was revealed to them on an emotional level, and they walked away. So I don't think I need to read on that anymore. I think we pretty much had our answer in regards to that once they reached the front line, they had a difficult decision to be made, and they decided to make a new start and a new plan in regards to that of rebalancing and moderation. They realised that they had been lied to, that there had been an abuse of power, that they were literally stealing this country unlawfully, that what they had been told was not the truth, that they had been betrayed, and they decided to switch sides to help the Ukrainians. They were then isolated and contracts were taken out on them. Wow. Okay. Not necessarily all of them, but yeah. Now, if this is today's reading has raised any concerns with you, please. I know I say entertainment only. This was not an entertaining reading. None of this is entertaining. It's just ghastly. But please, if it raises any concerns for you, contact your local equivalent of Lifeline, your local mental health service. There should be a free number to call in most countries. Feel free to reach out. I'm here if you've got any questions or you want a bit of a further look into anything. But most importantly, for us to be able to move forward is for you to look after yourselves, to look after your community, to look after this community that we have going here. Look after your mental health, your physical health, your families, and please take care of yourselves. So love and light to you all, and we'll try something a bit lighter tomorrow. Okay, take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.